Hey guys, thank you so much again for joining us on another episode of Inspired by Miss Amber Red. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Some of you guys are returning and some of you guys are new. If you don't know, we're a permanent makeup studio. We do brows, eyeliner, lips, all the fun stuff. We have online courses. We have apprentices, an apprenticeship program. We travel and we teach and we go to conferences and we do networking events in studio and all the things. So, and this podcast. So thank you guys again for joining us. And that was a good intro.
That was a good intro. Yeah.
Let's get down to it. We want to talk a little bit today about basically knowing when you hit a plateau in business. And we're going to talk specifically with our emails and stuff because we've learned a lot. We're not completely self-taught there, but we've hired people, learned, then hired somebody, and then learned. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about that journey. So we started off with our first one was
the first launch.
What was the lady that we hired? Miss J.
Yeah, we call her Miss J.
Yeah, Miss J. Why did I not? I was thinking of Romello, the assistant chick.
Romello, I think, was after. Yeah.
Yeah. So we started with Miss J, and we kind of were doing emails before that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then
basic stuff.
Yeah, basic stuff.
Yeah.
And then so we hired her, and she wasn't like top dollar. She was like on the lower end, right? So. That's what we could afford. It is what it is. I'm honest. So she basically gave us poor Sasha. I just keep thinking, I'm like, you're down this road and you're like, damn it, Amber, just spend a little bit more money and we'll get there a little faster and we'll figure these things. You're probably like,
no, not at all. I actually enjoy the challenge.
Like in learning.
Yeah.
I think it's so fun to thank God you're not like, because of like, I actually enjoy learning about it too.
Yeah.
I think we've done that from day one, like as far as like website and stuff goes. But back on track, Amber. So we hired Miss J and she basically gave us put together a little packaged email sequence. And then from there, didn't we? I think we did it. We did it a few times. We tweaked it a little bit.
Yeah, we tweaked the graphics for sure. It's not anything bad about it. I don't think that was like her strong suit on that. It was more like the copyright that we hired her for.
Yeah.
So she did the basics for us, and then we tweaked it to make as much sense to what we knew at that time.
Yeah. And then I'm like, I don't know if we've really hired anybody else like Miss J since then.
No, honestly, she gave us a really good foundation to get our brains going, and then we kind of just learned our audience and like what made sense and what didn't. And then for a while there, we were kind of just like stuck a little bit, and then I think we let go of the reins of like the perfectness of everything and kind of just started having fun with a lot of things, and we started to get more results back from it. Because we, it's like you want to sell these courses. We were doing our first launch, and that did really, really well. But then after that, it's like you sell all these courses and you're good, and then you get to a point where you're just like, okay, what's next? And she set us up for the beginning really, really well, and I think we learned a lot from her.
Yeah, because it was like every 3 months we launched a new course. And I listened to a lot of podcasts, and they're like, that's great and all, but your courses have to sell past that, right? Like they do well. And I just want to say, I don't give a shit. I tell people numbers freely. I just do. I talk about it. I don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, so on these podcasts I listen to, generally from launch to launch, they're talking like a couple thousand. I'm like, we did well over a couple $1,000s for our launches. Well over, I'm talking like $15,000 to $20,000 for each class. So our year was really fucking good with these online classes. But now it's like, let's reverse, because it's like, fuck. Now it's not selling like that because we're not in launch phase. And these podcasts I'll talk about how to basically get, not our podcast because we're still trying to figure it out, but how to get your courses to continue to sell because they're still up to date. Those courses are they could be relaunched. We've talked about that. We could go through a complete relaunch phase, which we may do at some point as we grow the email list, but it's almost like we're in this like thing that's like, what direction do we go now?
Yeah, so I think we're at a point where how do we grow our email list? It's not so much the courses anymore.
Yeah.
How do we get new people in, new faces? Because now, our list, that's where we're at with the Plateau, is our list inside. We're always constantly hitting them. But by now, if they're not a buyer, most likely they're not going to be a buyer. So now we're in the next phase of how do we keep the momentum of our list growing, because we had that at first. Obviously, they're like, oh my God, Amber's online. I don't have to pay so much to come train with her. Like, I'm going to go and take those courses. So we got a real, like, rush of people with that, and that was amazing. And now it's learning to reach different countries, you know, like different states now, different people, get her name out there even more, even though, you know, she's a big name in the industry. Now we have to go to that next level with it. And that's where our challenge is at.
We have a circle. It's like we're like, A is full. Like, it's like we got to get to B and then C and then D. I don't know if that's a real thing, but it's like, even with our current list, I agree with you, but I also think that we would benefit from having, and I don't know if, and this may help somebody, I feel like we could do a relaunch as we are with our current list if we invested in a true copywriter. I think that they could talk to them different, and I think we would still get the same exact sales in with the courses right now relaunched to our exact list. But with that said, you know, as a small business, it's like money is always like, okay, where do you want to put it, right? So it's like, do we want to do that, or do we want to focus on growing the list? And I think we've already fully decided, like, it's growing the list route that we want to do, which is yay, because this is going to be so much more difficult.
I think it's a little bit of both, growing it, but also switching up our tone with our
nurturing the existing ones. Yeah, so trying to grow and nurture the existing ones. So it's like so I was just like, with the money situation, it's like, so we could go into a copywriter and have them focus on that nurturing side with the current list, which would then, I don't want to say secretly, but it would like kind of nurture them into selling, like especially the ones that haven't. I think that they would nail that and do a great job at that. Yeah. But what I want to explore a little bit more of is growing that email list, which I'm not an idiot. I know, look, we've been doing this. I know we're self-taught, but it's like, you need a freebie. You need to launch the freebie. You need to post it on social media. You need to go to the groups. You need to go to, like, we know the steps to get, and then you need a landing page. They need to go there, and it needs to convince them to purchase another thing, right? So we get the steps. We're not, like, that's not really necessarily what we need help with. I think it's more creativity, I think, with growing the list, because it's like, all right, well, we're doing all those, and the list is growing, and obviously it's not going to happen overnight. Like, it is growing slowly but surely, because, like, if you guys don't know, we do have a free, this is not to sell you anything, but we do actually have, it's get you on our email list, though, but we do have an eyeliner drawing, which, because everybody always comes to me for eyeliner, so we do have a wing eyeliner drawing that we're going to do live. So we're going to start doing these little lives, and then but in order to join that live, you do have to join our Facebook group. So that's how you're going to get access to it, because it's a private Facebook group for support just for artists, and then we're going live within that Facebook group. So we do have that part figured out, but it's like, what else? I know there's, you know, what you don't know what you don't know. We know that there's a lot more out there that we could learn, and bringing somebody on that can help us with those creative juices so we can get past our plateau and figure it out, and maybe a little quicker, because I feel like when you hire somebody, I feel like you literally get the work done in what you and I could do in 5 years, and next year we'd have it done. It's like, it just accelerates the speed of things.
And the live that she's talking about, it's going to be on June 17th. So we're going to drop the link in the description. So if you want to join our Facebook group, Amber's like always dropping tips in there. It's a lot of good like education. There's over 1,000 people now of PMU artists in there, and it's a really good group to be a part of. And to go back to what I said about people being on our list, and by now if they're not a buyer, they're not going to ever be a buyer. That's not necessarily true, I think. And I think we're recognizing that a little bit. And also too, it comes down to, it's just us two. So I think we recognize that like we can't do it all, and we're actually making active steps to bring someone else in to take over like other things that me and Amber can now just let go of. And I think once we do that, we may be able to focus more on the nurturing, like things like that, because we're just always putting things out, like always getting it done. And
it's like, I would say we're at like 75% with everything we do. We get to about 75%, but it's never that, like, we can't get to the extra, like the love.
And it's like converting them too, because honestly, half of our list, we have about 50 to 60% open rate. So they're opening them. Yeah. You know, like they're seeing our stuff. It's just, how do we get more catchy and like speak to their soul? And obviously we need someone to help us with that. So if you are feeling any way that we're feeling, I think it's important to recognize that and not be like, I can do it all. Right. Because we don't know it all. And the whole reason why we even got here is because we hired someone to begin with that gave us that foundation for it. So I think we both now are at a place where we're just like, it's time for someone to step in again. And
before Black Friday, because we're going to fucking kill it this year. So we're probably by July, August, like we need a game plan ready to go. on fire. Let's figure out the direction because I think, I just think what's great is we are smart. It's like I never say anything nice about myself. I'm like, smart though. Yeah. But no, it is because like they'll come in and do. It's like with Jay, right? It's like they'll come in and give us something, and we're like, oh yeah, well we can do it better. Like not really better, but like we can get more creative with it now that you got the ball rolling. So we can like reverse engineer and like kind of like, okay, like you did that for that. Well, we can take that and now do it for this over here. So it's really just an investment within your business, to be honest with you. Like it's not, and this time I'm not fucking around. I'm already saving. I'm like, this time I'm saving. I'm like, what did I tell you? Remember the other day I told you? I was like, he's $200 an hour, Sasha, but
that's fine.
I was like, we're going to kick ass. I said, I'm sick of fucking around. Because when was the last time we really hired Miss J? How long ago was that?
That's like 2 years ago now?
Yeah, so she got us imagine with somebody, and she was, you guys, like, I'm not kidding you. What is she? Probably like $20 an hour or something.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah,
and it wasn't too bad at all. So I'm not saying that because they're charging $200 that they're all that, because that's not always the case.
Yeah.
But if you're charging me $200, if you're charging me $200, you better be well invested in the time that you're giving me, because
that's the thing. I think it's also the nurturing side, but we need someone to turn it into like results.
Yeah.
You know, because it's nice that everyone's opening it. And obviously they're reading it, but we're not turning them over into a sell. So,
well, and then
how do we do that?
You do try to like research. Like I'm obsessed with this stuff. Like it's like it's weird because I don't mean to be. I just think it's interesting. Numbers, it's all a game to me. Money's like that. So I don't think like money's ever been an issue for me to talk about, because it's like we're in a video game. Like I can make as little or as much as I want to. Like that is just it's so true. So it's like, you know, like I don't know. I just think like
there's nothing to hide. I mean, because people are going to learn from you by being honest like that too. And it's just like, obviously you're doing the damn thing, because most 80%, 90% people are not even going to take half the steps you have. So why not talk about it and be truthful?
It's just an investment. I'm like, well, if you think about it, like, so if we hire somebody, it's say if they're $300 an hour, what the fuck ever. Yeah. It's like, I'm saving, you guys. I'm not rich. but let's be on, like, you know, so how long is it going to take them? Is it going to take, so what are we looking at? Like, I paid Mark $8,000 to build our website, and we completely redid that entire website and added a second one on top of it. But if he didn't get our foundation going,
thanks for the foundation, Mark.
If he didn't give us the foundation, we still, I know, fucking toll. But you know what I mean? Like, so if it costs that, but then takes us smooth selling for another 4 years, it was worth it. Yeah. Like, it's just an investment in yourself. And look, I've lost thousands of dollars. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Roll your eyes.
Yeah. That's part of the game, though.
Yeah. Right? I mean, you may lose $6,000. It might not have been worth it, but you don't.
Stab to the heart. Oh.
I know. Come back to us. I know. We don't hate you. Just come back.
Just message her back. You know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. The little psycho probably does listen to this. Yeah. Anyways.
We're blocked, but it's fine. No, I'm just kidding.
Anyways, everybody's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so that's just part of it. You live and you learn, and some's going to work out, some's not going to work out, and at the end of the day, if it is $8,000, you'll get through it.
Yeah, it's part of it.
Yep, part of it.
And the outcomes, like the good ones, have always been worth it for the ones that didn't work out. So invest it. The money will come back to you.
Yeah, I just think it's so important. I just feel like I honestly, I'm like, we've just been trying to figure out, I've just been trying to figure out, like, what direction. Yeah. It's not like I don't, it is a lot of money, and it is like, it's like, okay, well, what is most important? And I still sit here right now, and I'm like, is it the copywriting? Or is it them to do a really badass sales sequence? I don't know. But maybe that's an answer question.
Or do we need someone to push our website out and grow the list first before we even do the copywriting? Like, what's most, like, what steps do you take? You know, like.
I'm sure one of those $300 an hour people can answer that question.
Yeah, hopefully it comes with growing your list.
Yeah, hopefully it helps. Yeah, most of those people that are charging that price, like, it's like they're going to do a consultation. I mean, they're going to charge you for the consultation. Yeah. Which is fine. But all the reviews, because, of course, I'm that person that's reading all the reviews, as you should if you're spending that kind of money. But everybody says, like, even during just the sales call, it's like they left with so much information to give them a direction. So I'm like, I'm sure that those people.
It's probably why they charge too for it, because it's like you have to obviously give something to convince someone to hire you.
Right. So. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you got to give something. Ain't nothing free.
Yeah. I had a thought. Dang it, I just lost it. Dang it.
It happens to me all the time.
Oh my God, it's happened to me a lot lately. I'm like, what the heck? Anyways, don't be afraid to invest and grow and know when you're stuck.
Yeah.
And figure out how to get out of it.
Yep. Yeah, because we've been stuck for about 3 months.
Yeah.
I know we have. I'm just, I can't make any decisions anymore. What's wrong? My brain's broken. That's literally me on the day-to-day.
I think we should be a little nicer to ourselves, too, because, again, at the end of the day, it's like just me and you running it all, you know, like website, emails, customer service, front desk, tattooing, training. Like, literally, there's 2 people doing it. So it's like, I think we've done pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice, you know, it's weird because I think the universe talks to us in mysterious ways.
Yeah.
But, like, with the class, you know, we just finished up a class yesterday. Of course we did. But just those people coming into the studio and they acknowledge it. And I think thank you so much for, like, acknowledging it, because it's like we are so in the groove of just like whoosh, like this whirlwind of just like chaos that it's like when you stop, like at the end of the day, sometimes I'll stop and I'm just like looking around. I'm like, have I really been in this studio for almost 5 years? There's no fucking way. Like, how did that even happen? But everybody, you know, they come in and they're like, whoa, the studio is so clean. Like, it's so great. You've really built something. Like, it's amazing. And this is in the energy. And I don't know if you noticed, but when people say stuff like that, I'm just like, I kind of am like, my eyes are probably like.
That's why I start laughing, because I'm like, she gets weird by it, but she likes it.
It is weird because I appreciate it so much, but I think it's because I don't see it myself. Yeah. Because we're so like
we've never had like pause to like really look around and be like, yeah, I did that, you know.
And they're always like, you did so great. I'm like, yeah, Sasha.
I will say you got better at that though. Like, you have like taken time to recognize like your wins. So
I'm trying.
Yeah, no, you have. You said you were gonna make a conscious effort to talk better.
I said we need a bell to ring every time there's something positive that happens.
Yes, like selling Sunset. Every time we sell a course, like
yeah, I know we need one, because I was like, I can't. I was being a spy and I was just checking those course sales and I was like, we've grown.
Yeah.
I was like, we've done something different. I was like, so from where we started to where those numbers are at now, because you have to think those numbers back then were during like launches. The numbers where they are now.
Yeah. Well, also too, we have our sequences pretty set up. So when you're doing certain things with us, you get dropped into certain things that are telling you certain things and selling you certain things, and I think that's really helped us get that into play.
Yeah, you know what I would love to? We need to make a list. Here I am. Put it in a spreadsheet. I'm just kidding. But make a list and like all these things. Like, it'd be cool to have them tear apart one sequence.
Yeah.
What would you do different to it?
Yeah.
That way we can take that little piece and do it. And then, okay, well, what would you do to grow the list? Well, okay, cool. Yeah. Take that. We can dissect it. And then take this. Oh, that's like
a really good idea.
An audit of the website. Oh, you would? Okay. Because then we can do it. We have 3 websites we run. So I'm like, bro, you just do one little piece and then we'll do it from all the other pieces.
Yeah, I like that. It's a good idea.
Yeah, good idea. So maybe that person, that $300 person we're manifesting is going to be $200 instead of $300 that I'm manifesting. That person's going to be able to do all that for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other thoughts?
I'm going to drop a little discount code if you guys are interested in purchasing an online course from Amber. It'll be in the description. I think it's like 10% off, but we're not going to do that. We're going to make it...
Why don't they... Yeah. I was going to say, why don't you drop the VIP?
We'll drop the VIP.
If they want to become the VIP, then they could get 50% off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll drop it in there. You guys can be part of our email list, and then it'll instantly shoot you a coupon code. So,
and 50% off is a good-ass deal, you guys.
Yeah.
Can't pass that up.
Yeah, so a lot of info for a good amount of price. And then, like I said, I'll drop the link to our Facebook group as well.
Cool. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you guys next time.
Yes. Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Bye.
Bye.